So for today's video, I walk you through how I go step by step with fielding investor calls for properties that I own. One of the main things that I look at when a person's calling me interested in a property that I own is how confident they are on the phone and how confident they are in conveying the information and the objective that they are ultimately trying to get to. If you've been in real estate as long as I have, we know that the market moves in cycles. As you hear more and more people talk about us getting closer and closer to a buyer's market, real estate investors, wholesalers, and people of that like are literally doubling down on their marketing efforts. So I fielded a call today that was quite interesting. And one of the things that I liked about the call and how it went is how the person on the phone did not allow me as the person on the other end of the line to dissuade her from her tactics and her overall objectives for the company that she works for. This person was probably a virtual assistant. I'm pretty sure I wasn't talking to someone directly from that company. I wanted to know first and foremost, was I dealing with a wholesaler or a legit direct buyer? More than likely I was dealing with a wholesaler. And no knock to individuals that wholesale, but for me as the investor, if I'm interested in offloading one of my properties, I want to know exactly who you are and where you are in the transaction process. And I walk through at the end of this video why it's important to ask two very key questions when you're talking to another investor that's interested in making an offer on your property, and what you can learn by reaching out to other homeowners that'll help you get that home under contract. Enjoy today's call. I am always open to sell, one of my properties, but it just has to make sense. So, with you guys, how exactly you guys operate? You told me your name, but how exactly do you guys operate? And what do you guys look for when you make an offer on a property?
We're local investors. We are cash buyers.
Okay.
What we would be doing is we would be buying the home as is.
Yeah.
So we would be covering closing costs, title transfer.
Basically, I'm just showing you guys how I handle a call or getting an offer on one of my properties. So
the process is faster and more convenient compared to listing with a realtor. And the offer that we give you is what you'd be walking away with. So what we would be looking for is just people who are interested in selling. It makes the process a lot easier. We don't want to be convincing you to sell, but if you're interested, then we are able to help.
Okay.
And work on a time frame that's convenient for you. Because I know moving could be, a difficult process as well.
Well, we if the price is right, we'll figure all that out. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I think ultimately, for me as owning the property, the number has to make sense. Of course, I look on things like Zillow or the MLS and things of that nature. So I have a strong idea of what my property is worth, but ultimately I would want to know, for one, how quickly you all can close. For two, how smoothly can we close as far as, closing attorneys, the ones that you work with, maybe I have some in mind, things of that nature. But ultimately, we're not in a buyer's market. So I'm just kind of wanting to know, with the offers that you guys do make on homes, are they at market value? Are you looking to come in a little bit lower? Are you looking to factor in repairs, things of that nature?
Seeing that we buy as is, we do come in a little bit lower than market value.
Okay.
So we would have to factor in any and all repairs that we would need to do, because we absolutely want to be able to walk away with both parties being happy, us and yourself.
Right.
Both of us have a number, that makes sense for us. But as a business, we do need to have some sort of, some meat on the bones left after we've cleared everything up.
It's important to make sure you're working, if you're working with a licensed representative. So I'm going to identify myself as a licensed rep, and I'd like to know if I'm dealing with a wholesaler or another licensed rep.
Title issues, we have a team that works on that as well.
Okay.
So it's an entire process. We can close within 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay.
But our typical time frame is 30 to 60 days, to allow the homeowners some time to move.
Now, I do want to ask, are you all wholesalers? Are you looking to JV this? Are you guys the direct buyers? With your company, where exactly are you all in the transaction? Are you looking to I'm familiar with wholesalers, so are you looking to wholesale this? Should I consider an offer? I'm just trying to kind of get an idea of where you guys are in the process.
Absolutely. Well, we do a little bit of everything. We are typically wholesalers, but depending on the location and the property, we would be the direct buyers sometimes.
Okay.
It usually just depends. I would have to run it by my acquisitions team
Okay.
for us to decide that. But of course, like we're saying, the number has to make sense for us both. So we want to be able to provide you with a fair and sensible offer.
Got it.
Yeah,
well,
but you're saying basically that you weren't really thinking of selling, but if it's at or above market value, then you'd consider?
Well, not necessarily. It just depends on the terms of the deal. With this particular property of mine that you're interested in, I've been sitting on it for a while, so I'm actually looking to sell again if the price is right. I'm not necessarily looking for market. I mean, you guys being cash buyers, obviously cash is king, so I'd be more so open to selling it to a cash buyer versus an owner occupant and having to deal with loan lenders and all that stuff. So I just kind of like to get an idea as an investor, what you all are looking for in an offer in a home that you'll make an offer on, and then kind of how you guys are looking to structure the deal. But I would love to know, ultimately, if I'm going to be dealing with a direct buyer or if this is a wholesaler. Do you all disclose that? Should I accept an offer? Because I do want to know that this will actually get to closing.
Absolutely. So like I said, I would have to run it by my team. So
okay.
Would you prefer working with a direct buyer, or you're saying that you wouldn't feel comfortable if it was a wholesale deal?
Well, I just would want transparency on, who exactly I'm going under contract with, because I work with wholesalers. I work with direct buyers. I work with any and everybody that calls about a property I own. But I always just like to know who I'm dealing with and where they actually are going to be in the process, just for my peace of mind.
That would absolutely be disclosed once we get to an agreement, once we get a number that we're both okay with, and we sign an agreement. Everything will be there and explained to you as well. I would have our home buying specialist jump on a call or meet you at the property so that you can have that discussion with them.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, I appreciate you reaching out, and I look forward to hearing from somebody.
Yeah, absolutely. So is it like a vacation house?
Yeah, more so, especially in the pandemic here. We're digital nomads, so we just kind of operate where we want to operate and just kind of do it like that. When I'm in that state, we do occupy that property, so we don't have to pay for hotels or Airbnb. We have other investments, so it's not anything that we're again, we kind of bought in this area for a particular strategy, and thankfully the market has begun to start to level off at this point. So we're always considering, if we also spend a lot of time in other states, mainly South Carolina. So ultimately, if we're interested in letting go of this one, we have another place that we could occupy.
Have you ever thought of listing it?
That's an option. Full disclosure, I am a licensed real estate agent. So, if we do that, I am licensed in the state in question. So that would be something that, we would take care of. We decided to go that route. But like I said, I prefer on this particular property not to do that, just because we're just looking to move it fairly quickly. And we prefer to sell to a direct, cash buyer situation. It's a fairly new, updated property. Nothing that the roof is good. The roof's been on there not even 10 years. It's, some minor upgrades that could be made to it. Very, very minor. I mean, there's ways to add value to it. We just don't want the headache with this particular property. So there's still a lot of value that could be added to it. I'm about to wrap this call. I just wanted you guys to see how we handle investors that call in. Ultimately, they're trying to get to a certain number Typically an offer I get from them is going to be around 60 to 70% of market price, but I want to get an idea and kind of listen for any talking points that I could incorporate when I call other homeowners. So that's why I wanted you guys to be on this call. All right, so I hope you got value from that live call session. Just wanted you to kind of see if you are a homeowner, usually, especially in this current market, you're going to start to get calls from individuals that are asking if you'd be willing to sell your home. Ultimately, these individuals, 9 times out of 10, are wholesalers. And what they do is if they find a particular individual that's interested in selling, then they get that home under contract for, a significant amount below market value. And then they turn around and find a buyer. That's why you heard me ask the question, is this a wholesaler that I'm talking to, or are you the direct buyer? Because you're going to want to know if there's a wholesaler. Well, if they are not able to find a buyer for your home, they've gone under contract with you. There's no guarantee that this home is actually going to close unless that wholesaler finds someone else to what's called assign the contract that they made with you to someone else, and they make a little bit of money in between called the spread. So I like to always get an idea when someone calls about one of my properties of who they are in the transaction, just so I know from a negotiation standpoint how to operate with them. But this is going to be talking points that I'm going to expand on a future conversation. But I just wanted you to see how we do it in the trenches when we get those calls from wholesalers and other real estate investors, things of that nature. So drop a comment below letting me know your thoughts on the call, and I'll see you on the next video. Are you a real estate agent looking to jumpstart your career? Join our online agent network and gain access to the support and resources you need to succeed. One of the most effective ways to attract clients in this industry is through social media. And I can tell you, in my entire time as a real estate professional, I have not knocked on one door, and yet I've still generated several $1 million worth of sales per year. And our team is here to help you do the same thing. Click the link in today's show notes today or visit IamTheTribe.com to learn more about this amazing opportunity.